dwadie hu nkɔmmɔ na yɛgyebrɛ na yɛakyerɛ adwen ɛwɔ ho wɔn a wodi dwa wɔ yɛn man mu ɛka ho bi ɛna sɛ yɛn ho bɛhenhan yɛn o yɛn ho henhan yɛn o ɛfiri wɔn nkyɛn sɛ wote sɛ wɔn akuo ahoroɔ no edi nkɔmmɔ na wɔn mu si apeneɛ pɛ na sɛ sɛ yɛhyɛ ase yɛkasa fi sɛ ho nsunsuansoɔ no ebetumi aba yɛn so nneɛma mmienu ɛna anɔpɛ yi abadwafoɔ boa yɛn ama yɛdi ho nkɔmmɔ ansana no akwanya aba ɛde ama wo sɛ woyɛ obi a wonim nnwom toɔ sɛ woyɛ obi a kasahare no wobɔ wo ho mmɔden a Gifted Icon Season 2 Gifted Icon Season 2 yɛma wo akwanya the Street Crown Edition no ɛba so wɔ Fache Television deɛ ɛsɛ sɛ woyɛ a ne sɛ woba ha na wopeke form wofele wo form no na wo nso wonya akwanya wote Season 2 a na kyerɛ sɛ yɛwie Season 1 no ama obi wanya ne promotion wanya ne sponsorship a ɔno nso ahyɛ ase a ɔgye ne sika nti sɛ wonim wodi hye bi wonim nua bi wadamfo bi a ɔyɛ adeɛ wɔ kasahare rap no onim nnwom to a yɛma no akwanya sɛ ɔmmra na yɛmmoa no na nadom akyɛde a yɛde maa no no mmra mu Gifted Icon Season 2 Fache Television ɛwɔ Bantama yɛne Bantama Press bi na hwɛ anim ho yɛne apsa nyinaa wɔ dan baako mu tibra peke form na unsu nya akwanya ne wadom akyɛde a yɛde maa wo no abam na unsu wanya so mfaso. The numbers are on the screen if you are doing the listening. 0550772113 0550772113 Gifted Icon Season 2 ɛho nkɔmmɔ ɛna yɛne edi anɔpɛ mpanimfo mmienu a wagye brɛ baako ɛbɛka bɛjoin ne na yɛdi nkɔmmɔ no mmienu yi deɛ megidi yɛ sɛ sesei ɔmo ɛba mu TV no so a ɔmo nya ahɔhɔ wɔ mu anim Mr. Kingsford owusu ansa na menua KOJO asante baako yɛ ɔkyerɛkyerɛ ni baako nso odi dwa sikasɛm no n'ani gye ho paa mpanimfo mma mo akye
ya KOJO
mma mo akɔ aba nso sɛ mo ho yɛ dada ihu ase mpatwɔ yɛntie voices ya na yɛnhwɛ videos yi mmienu baako ɛfa deɛ Guta raise concerns about retail market no nti yɛnhwɛ saa video na Guta for edi nkɔmmɔ about retail market.
The minority and the majority, because it is you the politicians that have allowed these foreigners to flood our market and then trying as much as possible to displace the locals and then take the market completely. A critical example is what we are experiencing in the mining sector. Now, all our water bodies have been polluted by these Chinese people. And these Chinese people are being brought by you, the politicians. The Chinese people are being brought by you, the politicians. Because it is said oftentimes that both the minority and the majority are being blamed for the galamsey that is going on. Because you have your people doing the galamsey. And it is being done by these foreigners. Because you are the people who bring these foreigners, these Chinese people, into the country and then be doing this galamsey and have polluted our water bodies. The same thing is happening in the retail sector now. Now they have taken over every aspect of the retail sector. Let's talk about the constructive sector, that is the mining sector. It's been taken over by foreigners. The financial sector, the banks and all those fintech areas have been taken over by the foreigners. The communication sector have been taken over by the foreigners. Now the automobile sector is also being taken over by the foreigners. And the small retail that we are doing, that even if you are illiterate, you can even do the retail trading, is also being taken over by foreigners. And excuse me, in your own wisdom, that you passed this GIPC Act and reserved some areas solely for the citizens of the country, those areas are also being taken by the foreigners, and you are not doing anything about it. I am glad that the minority leader said that he's a businessman, and I think most of you here are also a business people. I'm sure one day when you retire from parliament, you will definitely come into the business sector. And you come in, when you come into the business sector, and those areas have been taken over by foreigners, where do you stand? Where do you stand? Now, because of this situation, the price of shops have risen very high level that the citizens cannot afford to pay for the price of shops, and all the shops are being taken over by foreigners.
Which is a time bomb.
Now, we have these Chinese people establishing malls all over the place. And
right, enti guta nkomo a won wa hyase a won di eno no. Won asem yetiawa. Se ya hyehye mra, mra no ma ho kwan se retail business de. Ese Ghana fo nko a na edi se adwa no. Nanso nei yakofa won free Ghana ha. Won abedu Ghana ha. Won aye nnwuma akese nyina kakra no aka no Ghana fo ye no. Won asan awura mu a yempanimfo nim se mra no ma ho kwan. Nanso wagya ne saa. Zozanza mama shem komo ya sim free won chen. Se de guta pani no edi ne nkomo no. Saa ne te na ohaw no ye sen.
It's a the one can chat for now. It's a na Ghana no ha adibia ba den shasia obi anta. Yes, this area China for be retail. Oko you are a hundred mo fiti shop now. Mo fiti shop senya magazine for ne pepe. Ya sefem na amanga na say no ma da hokwa do bia pe na oye. Asem mra bia nyeda ni ko. Emra na hye say we die Ghana fo nko an na yi. Wo die mbo ya mo nye ko seli. Na yi retain beton film ho. And China for we die you retailing. And correct. Enti we nim the entire paying for Jimin Kawasa. But better to be not now, so you're telling the Wakana India. You can't tell the Ghana Libya. Because Wakan can't read by Ghana did that.
Inti money foreigners no ever partnership ana.
Ghanaians are so make I say you're done if you don't see them is so cheap. Ghanaians are so cheap. Say Oman ka crave already. No deny it. Na money na kwa sana ti.
Nti yanya na yakofa foreigners number. And you register companies in their name.
We are name ye mu
Ownership.
So that the requirements
they're more like say as a yen yafa or
juma. Ya front more na I said ya for juma but invariably your madia. Because of chase career day ama obi. You see the Ghana say yeah, nipa le mu no. E pese mra bi adwuma. Enye se ye ton ye ho sa. Enye ska mu bi e hu bi adam wo ska totopo bi o. Aso no age no de dakoto so. Akwa partner no ne adwuma so no. O fu na che. And these guys are so corrupt say. You want to do, they will do with you.
So on the ono or piska Ona wo man. This is over church the man was saying one or no be penny sika.
Elsewhere, Europeans will not do it. Asia for the only corrupt Africans. Or nobody open at the equip be a possible to be found. Which you would, but Europe want to say. Obana go to none where you know. That is why Chinese, Indians, Pakistanis, they are taking over Ghana and Africa. Or nobody would care. But Europeans will not pay. Americans will not pay. But for them, they will pay. Don't know what you say. Yeah, so I don't know. Like Oko China, Oko Tadi, Fui. Oko got a Fui, a co originally 1,000. Ope, I'm a Pebayamo, 200. The same phone, the same design, 200 Yamo. You can never have uncle. Oh, I want to cast we are African goose. You ever have uncle, and I'm going to
The problem no is it a government problem? And now say a attitudinal
problem.
Attitudinal problem.
Probably a government will and I said you yet to phone can and I'm on ISA. And you know, their goods are a bit cheaper than Ghanaians.
And non so much they must say.
Fakuna the Fadianwa. But Ghana need top and top and top. Or per margin of 50%. Nigeria need per margin of 20% or 10%. You never find it back for Kuna Fana. But Ghana need will add 50%. China will add there 10%. Nigeria 10%. So with the price differential is number. It depends on touch China need in
What it means, they say retail market in fast room.
Why not?
Because for them to decide that and no be normally and be
you see, Ghanaians in here so that you manage who you. Oh dear, people are not do research. You have research here. Opa, come market to. Me no must have momentum. I'm got by office. Nature yada be do. Me can do them. Me go far Indomie obi fie e wo adwase area. Oni akoma e wo shop you know back wo queue back wo woman hair. I stood up the building my phone out of him. What? My what two shopping if you ball if fear is fear. You fear me out way fear. What? Mansion. And so a retailer. Nobody says it's candy hall. There's not one day. And the woman who says cow now they're coming in. Now they will need a price. You don't want Ghana for market. Ghanaians will step no say pricing no 10 over no contema. We have more money than say best target. Maybe call for no area for your no contema. You report to me so many places. You have found them in your mobile one, and you know what's near Manso. I look at the market, okay. At least 1 year, never crack. It may be market how do I penetrate the market? Be a friend in room. Much. Me a friend of my to Chicago to me. Now I want to enter. So I pay a paper strategy to enter. So I reduce the price. Boy, just 2 cities difference. What is the difference? And you see market in a drift through. If you go for one, I'm from him. If you have prepared 5 cities, it will be 2 cities. My check 3 cities. Me never go 3 times, 4 times. That won't call it. The 4 times I make on, we have more profit than you. And always your place is flooded with people. And no, how ye say ye the year, and the Ghanaians they green ye, and I ye the ye, I'm obeying upper from one. I'm telling you, an area is a lot of money, not an office.
Now, Athena, and apart from Sanope, we didn't come. I've heard government officials say it that yen a year front Emma foreigners no yes adia no nti edena ama yentimi nsi ho kwan
ba kono no gutafo no ye ka for my ho gwemu bi a order ma ko almost 2 years ni you guta ne bi a order em na ye 20% by ye kan so guta ne bi a kan tari ama ye obi an kan hwe ma ye o gutafo bi ni o yemwo se mu no wholesale ko no wado no omo machia 2 years ni nye obi a ka gutafo fresh ebra meeting na 20% di kwa ye den nye obi a I don't know where their office crop work. Do you want to say, minimum, you want to try and meet your Makai? You don't meet them, we don't know where they are. Maybe a problem.
This particular meeting was initiated by the minority in Parliament.
Okay.
And the flag bearer for the MPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, and an initiative for party for to meet business community at this one of these meetings and a good for express say did not the reference to meaning so a businessman had to do with Afenyo Markins. Yes.
You see me dibsa and they will break so around and more retailing. One of them a VAT of 20%. Me explanation last come back let me pay you so maybe you now me enter 1-on-1 now on check when I'm just convert it simple work 20% on it finish only and then be my target 20% about it asa power say I can work it now work the other work it put better show the work it and direct and nobody obian came my head. In fact it's killing our business now. And tell them kind what you want a ye. I have some cancer, but 1 year a ye. A retailing of what without video, a retailing ye. Over top box and cry, a retailing. Your kinds and you come up over to the amount, so retailing. They says I to pay 20% VAT on it. Me want to call horse and I put your who. You owe you back on how to 20% on the VAT on it. And they say, oh, you want what's all you real thing they are. One who are out of business.
40%.
You are out of business. And I don't know about trim say, okay, we don't know what say. Well, just a year because we won't charge you. You profit margin, and there will be a more.
Right. Remember, KOJO, Guta. And come on, it's a major concern.
Yeah.
Foreigners are be farm market in Africa, retail market. Mizo also answer can a hundred there, and I think about 7 to 10 years ago, I who say China for a beer fitting shop where 100 and I'm saying, case now critical. How come? Say Abasa.
For and then penny for more Amstead. Currently used it. Used to the okay. Now, KOJO, this is not the first time I heard Guta Fonka. The Mekaisa last time be Swami magazine. There was a similar concern. Nigeria for Omono, but didn't man about wholesale no. That was a beer retail shop. That was sending the end of Sokakra. That is a beer as I call the Hokoto. Or no, Baba supply mamma at a certain price. No, what the end of no beer shop. It's something that is going on. KOJO, in fact, we know strictly a buying asset here. You're passing, bro. That is JIPZ law. That is Act that is 20. That is the law was established in 2013, Act 865. Master Semrat Hormo, a choir, Yemfasoa, Yeniga, oh, my so home. Oja Atna, in fact, a can you be brave once and we are foreign and our bar capital was a crowd about $1 million. So, and now we are joint her. I was a with me employer skilled workers, only Ghana for joint about 20 skilled workers. Just a man called explaining the foreign bit me the Omayba, I was away. But the issue is enforcement. And I think that Guterres agitation now is about the enforcement. Guterres said, is it being enforced? Maybe I've been Chinese for. But KOJO, maybe to university campus. Metawa tech pa. Do me try to use it. Okwe jasi any surrounding ho nyina shop ho nyina in Nigeria for there. And the sad aspect is that omo target Ghana for SS4 now omo wi school from. Now I employer now to shop no. But some so a obetua oka no oye wo say sa no ayu no afa from. These foreigners come in and they even exploit our citizens. And as if they no obi anhweso because Ghana say we share the way as system here you quick in passing laws and allies in parliament by a passing we na koto buku wom and one. I do not know who should enforce that good law to make sure say obi o trade or nim no wadi mrane so say your police say your trade ministry act the enforcement procedure is there but unfortunately KOJO yen hwe baby ya and obia fanya ejuma and a yeja egum sa so but abind there was said there pa ne say ube protect your citizens protection no enye only say ye bono anase security wise economic protection a part of it. Sir, your Nigeria for to me institute measures are untumi nkramo from Nigeria. Ghana ye kra bibia utumi kra de rem. Obia kra foreign akra to man no utumi ton bibia ope. So enti ama said the good for kan enokre pa.
But how do we deal with it when Womuna SSC a bomb home pine. Womwa and air front.
What does a man say? Because your penica and the crap foreign a bar and I'm say oh meaty sa foreign requirements and another meaty cry Ghana the any easy no on one company no the media or the media then he got the privileges of local Ghanaian. Now, team, Nagana, you know, a frontier man, no, and at the Sabi from the port to local markets, almost everywhere is there. Now, and I make us say, Emrano, Ediana Kafa, a mino, a quite many before you be signing man a free home. I was saying, Emrano, strict on our own local authorities, our own local, you know. So we are going to need two, so fronted, Emma foreigner. What are the punishments? If you say me some ray by KOJO music convincing and media actually say who you say ma either. The same thing applies to the mining sector. Who's a good and no Chinese for galamsey wahani. Yeah, Ghana need trust me, you can't go to Burkina Faso and do galamsey or flood their rules. Or matua and presume. So there are rules. If you are buying a pay woman, that is a ministry ministry. Oh, and politicians know. They like the privileges that come with the position, but the responsibilities are completely neglected. That's the sort of political setting I want Ghana, especially within this Fourth Republic. All the ministries, none of them enforce the rules. And I say a Juma, a woman ministry on all of them. But all about a be a quem, pay, or be a quem no found. That the land cruiser see what I can say none. We don't have the people who are ready to serve and serve the citizens. KOJO retail are there. Other foreign countries, look at a country like Japan, for instance. Japan is first world country, almost well developed. But will you believe, say, almost big stores, yeah, just say, almost trade a bought and you five. We have one, we a big store, you have to close it. close here. A honor, almost ton near man kit1 ye be ma almost to do muja up to a certain time around an adobe 8-10 or baby. No so that. Within that period, now some of the digan would now be used to no. But I mean, ending come over Ahomaso Charles Kusi Apia Kubi, Executive Secretary for ABWA, Ashanti Business Owners Association. Opening your watching?
Yeah, linear.
To say,
Adumni
Mwane. Right. Mame ensha CMF krata mode babonten enre nwumre efa the introduction of AI at the port. Na mo complain no, it's also the complainer if you guta asye eba se since AI introduction no eba no business community no monye happy na mo call for a halt. But we are hearing say a buy so a buying a sika pa na say yeto sika e buy nsem aden na mom pese a buying e be shase di AI na ye adwuma.
Coming chair next year I think also coming chair a sentiment and the Ushe statement you want. Then can't say you cheat. But the main concern is that technology to enhance or bring make us but to take credit at no expense to the business and to the economy. It is a introduction of technology. I will negative effect on one side of the structure of the country, which is business, then it calls for us to raise concern to see how best we can resolve it. Remember for summer evening. We get the outcome here. Business is complaining, government is getting revenue. But the point is this: the moment government is raking in more revenue at the expense of business survival, then there's a problem for the country. Because business is the primary source of revenue for the government. It is a new baby. Now, our revenue policy, they collapse businesses. As key stakeholders, we cannot sit unconcerned. We have to raise the concern and see how best we can address it. So basically, that is the reason for our press release.
Boy, because the introduction of a technological way I de edge it one. In Sunsanswa, Enya or Muamudi Janason Yadien.
Basically, it is raising import duties higher than we can absorb. When you put the philosophy behind introduction of AI at the port, you said people are evading taxes, people are underdeclaring.
Yeah.
They are missed a classification of items. Yes, it's a fact. But what is causing that? It is cost. We have complained over the period there. If you compare our import duties at the port against other African countries, our duties are so high. If the businessman be our person surviving, we'll be looking at how best can I reduce my costs so that I can be competitive in the market. If you are a government and it is creating problems for you, you don't use technology to solve the problem. But you must listen to where the concerns are and address it. If today, government decides that let me listen to the business community and reduce cost of importation, my brother, there will be high compliance. People will not undervalue. People will not have misclassification of the items. Government will get sustainable revenue. Businesses will grow. Technology is supposed to enhance trading. It's not supposed to collapse businesses. the situation where technology introduction is collapsing businesses, then its application has a challenge, and we have to address it.
Ms. Apiakubi, is it that the introduction of AI no aban atototuo ni mu anase saying?
Papa, the values have gone high, and we do not know their models. We do not know what new classification they are using to identify and price values at the port. So you have to also come back to us that this is my new calibration, and this is the rate I'm giving to premium transactions or economic transactions. You don't get on that, and all of a sudden you introduce a technology that is not acceptable.
Is it to say that there was no consultation with Guta and in Nianum Abwa and Sana AI no eba?
All we heard was government was going to introduce AI, but to have some meaningful engagement with trade, for us to KOJO to understand the dynamics, the impact on business and economy, that was not done.
The ebaye na mo hu se ade no ye boka dodo.
Exactly.
Now, beyond raising the concerns, more reach out to government.
Oh, very shortly. You know what I said? I'm on my way for a meeting with the Ministry of Finance and GRA on this issue.
I see.
So they've invited us to another engagement.
And more positive that say engagement be fruitful ebeba for the business community.
We are very positive. Until they prove otherwise, they are not ready to play more.
Now, since I'm all going to a meeting with the finance ministry, me miss away because the introduction of the 20% VAT on the retail market, no, the last time I knew in common, I would say a positive. Now, also I know when you drink. Still, I baby, ujina.
Oh, I need the president. In a war primary school, the teacher can say me. I say, in absence of nothing, that is good. And when I made that comment that the current VAT policy is good, I refer to our previous VAT structure. You know, our previous VAT structure, your 6% levies were enter African clinic. So it becomes a cost to you as business. But today, you can claim that 6%. So is it not better than zero?
And it's our premise one and now FIBA.
Exactly. And then we share the effective VAT rate, which is about 22%. And today, effective VAT rate is 20%. That's a reason of about 1.92%, you know. It's not good for businesses. We are not saying it is the best tax reform. We are still engaging government to look at how best they can bring reforms within the tax system. But until that is that, what we have is better than what we had yesterday.
But for the retail market, the 20%, a whole calculation is it all right?
When you say previously the calculation was absolutely wrong. With this new VAT reform, if you look at the calculations, it's supposed to even reduce price of items. It's what I will encourage our friends in the business community. They engage hearing any qualified accountant. Then I'm share how this new calculation is done. They compare the previous tax calculations now.
So you are saying, sir, the new VAT rate, as I said, a reduced prices.
Yes, they will check how we were calculating the VAT, previous VAT system now. Now to compare with now. And the Emma price and platform change the previous tax issues.
I see.
But
now, in your conversation, no, okay, say near a day AI no air no, I buy target and your honest say Oshe. And then Oshe say I buy any.
So they are supposed to the duties, the taxes, the levies at the port. Some of them are so repetitive. Some of them know it has not its relevance in current economic dynamics. It's Israel.
Matthias,
almost about 2019 or so, when the previous government introduced the 50% benchmark values. Cost of importation reduced. And businesses were happy with the government. And government was also happy because he making more revenue. It shows and it confirms the point that we are making, sir. If we make import duties affordable and competitive with other countries in sub-Saharan African countries, compliance will go high. People will not smuggle goods. Government to get reliable and sustainable revenue.
All right. You better say no pay after the meeting. You better say no wedding commona, common fufuru bi abemwa. Yene ya hwefo access an common. You better say no pay.
Opinion said that
the Executive Secretary for Ashanti Business Owners Association, Charles Kusi Apia Kubi. Yene no edin komo. Back into the studio. Abusia for offend ADO to car rentals at Daroma. And I de ebro ADO to car rental at Daroma. One wo Kumasi Asante Mantemu airport runabout woben DVL and AFIA children's home. Say what be do Asante Mantemu uhia car e de edi ujume bia. Say a ye hun to ye say ya warrior hun to ye say a ye business arrangement be akoba say se utu kwan say free Kumasi a ADO to car rentals say Emma car, Emma or how Emma. The SO ya and say, oh, Frew, one beba, now Oma befawa ko baby our person ukubia. Their cars are comprehensively insured. Comfortability is always assured. You are chauffeur driven. Nti adobe ko baby bia our person ukubia. The opposite of your fans and so one way ready on bebwao. Amwajo fans will krum heya kakra bi na obetua na omo de wanante ye bebie do no amwasi na o business partners na hu ze won so udimu ADO to car rentals adaroma and ye de ofen ebro. The numbers are rolling on your screen, but for those of you listening, 0244063391 0244063391 and 0266439327. ADO to car rentals at Daroma and the idea of fame ebro KOJO na wanugu asem so awoka
KOJO na ye hwe senior
challenges
are you mewo enema guta for a review.
That's right.
So then I make an buy say or be protect economy no ne manfo because Ghana ha no unim say sisi and majority of the citizens in need that capital na foreigners na urban kuta. Baby, money free ban. Government subsidize the production. Oko China say ya. Amana yen say ya. So person produce the technology is there. The manpower is there. Government are so flexible. If the China phone bit me produce niema, the cost almost 1/10 of what we sell here. It is a my sano. Nasa wo my kit towards Ghana. Only compete here. And yet possible. It was a buying rules. I actually say. I was act no a year juma said ye baya obi free China ho ensa meye retail ewa so we are omo beji market ni na wo hwe Nigeria population they are very large and the number of Nigerians that what Ghana has is here they are into the retail trading no so much sir they have already I would take almost can no de ba no almost catch Ghana for enso obi was catch otimi ko fa ne money cheap that's what no say be retail wa ha how do you compete with him it eventually the whole economy ni na no give yourself time 15-20 years it will be owned by foreigners and some foreigners when they repatriate their capital from the country what is left to us that's what my who good now enti say the can no the good for can in fact me say beta how much pa I was a ban hwe na say you reserve certain jobs any certain trade policies ama yaman for I was say e bo ho ban na make sure say foreigners na wo ho ban yentimi mpam om say mo nkode na emu memra e wo say foreigner edis wo no ode ye adwuma se Ghana ni e front ma foreigner na there was a foreigners ni ye no omonya KOJO mining sector say me ta kotakwa your mining company a change ni be 10 times because your portfolio be more say the first 5 years there are certain tax exemptions and now 5 years ni be do on na ya change company ni just a company for now and we look on so your stress is high and na akoswa be tin it mean one company if I boni din na just say you benya din be 5 the same company the same people operating and that is not good for us as a nation. Your politicians know I say they are too much interested in themselves. The omono benya e womono and now what you say the minister be introduced law and now can who be na yes he is to benefit directly. Oya masano makoyo ade ebeboa oman ni nyina no they don't talk about it and that is a disaster. Parliament any aban penning for yayimu someone show man mo show man no in the next 20 years they won't buy any no ebema just stand in the next 20 years ye behu na moto to niema sei na mo jai bibia mu a mo pesa o man for na be dey e mo ayi edisania good tech ayi no crepa ye market no foreigners e ji afa anya ho nko akojo ma me fa wa ko nka ho areas like also more areas like construction yeah back construction sector currently gradually foreigners are taking over from roofing to POP to even masonry and this anya mani na aban no say e wo ho yesi say me kra me individual me who be sa na me person reporter where do I report it but do I want to one shop at Adum just purely Lebanese shop na me top fan no na wati receipt raw and amame fans man talk back who bebre afi na and the receipt raw man say the VAT invoice way now I give receipt na oti ye no what so VAT or the pedal so now say what you think I'm a small boy or what how can you do that and from there me bufu ya say I'm sending it to the police headquarters at Adum because you are not paying that. And I went there and showed them, say, the guy who operates the store, he is not paying the VAT. Was the way they wages or they call police and the call GRA office. Oh yes, they told me unless I take it to GRA office. Well, so GRA office. So Obia me come Juma, many time kakra me jam the fan. And this guy is there. Charging the VAT, he doesn't pay because he doesn't issue the VAT invoice. And the some foreigners even taxes goes over to your more money, they don't pay, and they appear to be completely no monitoring, nothing as far as the running of the state is concerned, and that is not how we do things.
Right, it's an accountability issue for us as a people. Yeah, your maya, your casa, your how, ubiya nye ready say or the sima ebeboa. I'm on my Ghana according him. Wrapping up on the retail market and sana yako AI and commons bibia kemwa.
Oh, with the sala ne Brantian, can't some formula in the working of my I can't myself, I can work. But they don't deal with accountants. Yeah, it's the whole year. That's what one am saying. 80,000. Now capital. Yeah, calculation be any. Ni calculation be just presented on what because me and wife via GR in a friend. Man, who don't say, until 80,000, yeah, okay, 1,500, 1,800, 20% flat, pump. Not the nigga to be out, can say, and I will crazy me, accountant, me say, maybe I can't myself. A dear committee working. Halfway, I know, okay, those who talk 100,000, near the 20% of Pronotia. And it in the 100 year, Kakushi be in your ABR, or more year wholesale in the beer more formless beer, fine. By bar retailer, do more a K1 a 20% flat.
You go so you didn't command or pay Daybreak Jumet or Fache television. So near the everywhere. It's a business Tuesday. If you say one would did your way, may one a boamayan so you can't acquire anymore. One how no, but couldn't say baby anka woman quan is did just or my man. A hawk on swabby brave anymore. Omdio how near man near a brew and no cheap. Say a buying and pack wa cancel or yen share, and share na buying say or yano. Bebois ama wet me ajet to Nessica at Dawson or Manimu. Then so I buy shall see a cry or ma ubia a mermuno. One more shall say a one more boca. He said, Twana, ye Jew or one and no mutiano. A costro a chance. Good a penny or was sentimentemu. Any ewa ha ono nso di nchiremu a ewo mu no ebreying said ebe ya ebeboa ma nkomo no ye nyina ya te en ho ase na onam na otise gudafo edi nkomo no a na wabisa ho se nkomo na gutafo edi no se obi nti ase a me my ready se me be kire nipa no ase Mr. Anthony Opon Ashanti Regional Chairman for Guta opani e mo ache na etiseng retail market no anope nkomo aye di ne kire se Ghana fo bi front for foreigners no etisa
menchia wa anope na menchia wa hefo ne atifo na menchia Ghana dwedifo nyina ntituni asantimantem dwedifo na men kan se no krepa si Ghana fo ye ne duba bia ne san ye ho ya bronsam na near Yakrana say, no, na masisi shops boy din throughout the whole country. Shop a utimuneno. Aka 1 year, 2 year, nebuno. No ho hold you. No, why would you again in the Ako catch the whole say shop we aka 1 year bunti. Meet me at Yam. No, say Utria 20,000 for 5 years, sir. As mutual 50,000 and 30,000. If you run 3 years, car into Quambia Arsenal. Near this shop near the Monty. You walk Ghana for Omujino on back home from Sisia, China ni Ghana ni shop near Nidia. And to China ni the on autonomy man, China ni ba. A share a Maya Talamusho Montali to be a bodon comi or cantaman. And ye no crap pa set Yenia Ghana free, Yenia idea one bro, Kakrani Tefa or Benedio Munti, offering near Ho, and now Ho winning the baby. Some Ramadini Nyagan and Yajuma. And you no crap as a front in India, a idea on. Now, main castle front in Suntina Bantim to Sir Asam Susa. Was a Brano musician at 865 now. Japanese for long as she a marked punishment for Momo fronting in any impofura would do fear a foreigner, only working permit, only state permit. In our home, a matter of enforcement by the government institutions, and I must say, man.
Then they are coincidia. Abema wonwa esese wode mra ne ye adwuma no won fa nya adwuma mimi hu fa efa aya kwadworo your government institutions ya to pickups land cruisers eni ne ma aboden di o man tax tomam but there some dey man omonye 2 ye nyina corruption ya wo system no a ebu o man no eya another factor ye wo akokojo si honom ye you are Nigeria for no more yako 100. Sisi leather works. Pabuani sana manemane. Omo G you and mojuma. Yenya to America immigration on mono kasa same immigration for no. Ombesi sasa go for nyina do mko ye wie no. Ata for nya ko do bigina wani mu se kwasiafo mu de ko nya ne asamba ye adwuma de ba ne se mu mpanyifo no ano ehye ye mbutum. Enti ye mpanyifo no so can be the authorities in charge of sana manemano. Ha. Se say mudi hu nkomo yi mo hwehwe se de ne besi
Obanyi ye wo man a ye hihye mmra na me fi se nya ne fa ya na se hihye mmra no ye hihye mmra se society ne be move on smoothly na de manyina be koye no mama ne ho be ha ye ne ani agi atena omanum fi se no tine hihye mmra no enti mmra bia meme gidi se parliament be pa bia ma oman bia ne ya de o ma tase adwene ho se be bo oman no enti nya kwa se hihye sa GRPC 865 no se bodwa je die ye wo man a ye wo mrantie ne maba wa gu o man ma adwuma kora bi ni anu ni panya adwuma nye enti nkasa adwuma ne de ya reserve for Ghanaians na ye nuan mo be ye drop out so GHS o mo man ko bi kora o mo be drop out secondary school imponi university wa wie na woni adwuma ye no obetumi start bi kakra no wanyo anu aduane na de bobra na ye kuma se ni asante mamu anu de so what trek room na woni Ghana ba kosma dwadie de e de har mo the center headquarters ni kuma skano enti na mfi se mpanyifo hihye sa ambre enti ye hwese se mo hihye samra no dia mo be hwese samra no be ye adwuma ye wo mra bi wo ye constitution metre se ho ntimi nya parliamentary member ano ye ni ayi no se enu Adamu Sakande no ye Ghana ni ba ko tran ma bi provision KOJO bi ho enu agach question o ye Ghana ni ba ko tran ma bi ma so no ojo ma ye ni ye twen sankofo mienu abo so ma nya me fa no currency enu Adamu Sakande kro de wa film agach question so ye no de o fa mu asana a kire Supreme Court bill na onya kwan ato ne dwumadi so aden ba politicians ni dia no mu dia hoden kase abasa kase e ko santo kwan ba when it comes to the citizens in dia ma empany for no mo fa ho etimi dia mi hu say your politicians they don't respect Ghanaians, especially the traders omo fa ya nya hwe omo ni buo ni ani dia ba kokora de maye na mi hu said sometimes they go to the sense of bullying us but the chances of monya omo to slow no because omun edni feeling ne tima emaya adwadifo no enti se ko mo tima man na se no mo se ni dwa question ani ye nuan Adamu Sakande issue no omo fight ye e parliament or mo du ba bi na kat blows kra on betora e so moto no ade na when it comes to salary we say and I say ko mo dwene o man Ghana ho a ye o man mrante no ba ogu abontra freelance yom kaso mo security recruitment ni padodo mbegu won man ni training kwa wo mu enti se nipa no betumi anya takusi mpo bia e bibi na kana no de na obi tan kan nipa do nyina kwa ko ado mpem no wono na ho fi ni krum aba abaji adwuma no no oye na ya ti ho na ya fold your arms oko campaign bia so ni the political way to did ya see diplomatic and you know so ho ye nua no mo ho no ye mi se ho so mo ma ya sa opportunity mi wetu no Nigeria oko na Ghana ni ye nua ma mo kokon so wato ni ma kra odi dwa no na ya boa no esi form no ya so mo se ya jo rent assassin out ni message ni ya je rent ya na nam na konja assassin 20 my rent Ghana ni bia no Nigeria so bia shop se Nigeria for us ma make obi tia ana obi e ya onfoni in mra no no make kire se Ghana ni bia shop e Nigeria ha no to ade on mo da it doesn't happen Ghana for mo nyina bo fruit and okra nya na ochi obi na echi no wage na ade akwatima na waton any samini do shusha ne sa ne mana say e ma kwa se wo be bia shop to the extent say dwane free okọ Dubai market ya Ghana for nya adwuma bi nya so ho e wo shop ni bi ho no okwa chamfo shops ha betumi aka say 80% of the chamfo shops ni na owned by foreigners identity is about sa so man ya dwene o man ho a identity is about sa
mimi sawi me kai say 2023 2024 the business community was Santini Kumasi e kan say yama tax officers abetena na shops ni ade ade a mobo enyo so aboa ne won eka ho nyina toto wo shops as a way to say there be we die mu onyina so kese pa eden anamo na mu to beyond kasa no se be ya aban ni beba so na de ese so ye no be ye
no mi na mdasi anamo de ye tu a na fi se edu bebe na leadership no fi se ho no emwa enti yen jojo enti previous government no ye call honorable Lanchematri na so to the extent say oche committee me ka ho na you 2 o'clock na bus me na kwa Accra because I dey channel pa wo meeting on Accra 9 o'clock 10 o'clock 8 o'clock Eliza Hotel ene me ye meeting na ma yati committee ma e kasa ho no mfo mo nkra tamra na mo fi say bi no no matena mu ha ma che o ma ware o ma yele ni ma ha mu tisafo de ntimi ko na ka o mo maka na o mu ni sa nkra ta na mu ni nyina so de ke tumi pa mo nyina fe at the point edu ba bi na no resign Alan resign ye no so new minister ba say committee na yi no kra report onye ready ye yɛntwɛn kakra so afei de sika kora ni hɔnom betire sam na election be bam na ebedu samri aban foforo ba yɛ ni yɛmpɛsɛ di ho yɛ behia no kwan nti ya talk so any trade minister edi nkomo yɛ ne finance minister edi nkomo yɛ ne GRPC for edi nkomo all the security we say ni nyina no mo di nkomo okwa munya abotre yenya abotre abaye hu se ba bi aduro ne de no ɛya front gare nti yɛ sɛ keka ho nti so ti ya am say somewhere December on no we be yakototo awo no mo we say
nkran edwan
da bi kuma say ya ewo achemfo on no because phone accessories minua sisi say omo involved in phone accessories omo ton no covers any one charges near you know so the whole nation omo ton handed that which make us Ghana for 90%
and as
to the extent say Dubai inside Dubai market inside on no kra Ghana for nyina no take over you see it shouldn't happen and to two shop no me abam say ya mona mane na bibi say koso a na san ka bona mane asan ina o ma yeko bi shop no da mo say emra ne entrance ye no mattress ye no anwumle kra ye ne e ma penyin ba ko me be de chiri ekohonom unfortunately next me any out of town you know Quanesia. You need JPC for boss share last 2 weeks or at least Golden Bean Hotel. You know Nkomudie. CCI yes said. Yeah ma how no this month ending. Omona you to mom class on the best
ending they know.
Yes. Omona crown the best say mom up to this month ending. Into feel chine kono. Yeah, first I want to be shop no watching for all no feel. Omo feel on my any better shops.
Wow. Abusafo yeguso ayedi nkomo ba bia ya bedu no me kan kire say a business Tuesday fi say nkomo no mu didi nsa me no mi tun ye kotade a ehunsu nsanso no ebebreng Facha television so Daybreak Jumedie kai say edi auto car rentals adaroma ene ye de ofen ebre so abedu Kumasi wo asantema ntemu o peka e de edu juma bia ene edi auto car rentals eni nkomo Kumasi airport runabout oben DVL ene children's home na yamfa nkomo etoso bienu no ento aso na me nhyase mfiri wa wonchen ya tese mu wo haw AI no a yede aba aban eboa na ma na nya sika bebre no de aye mpuntu dwuma ma oman no yeso mo se aban ontwentwen so na mo boka
yo me na me koto akoso na madawas bro focus me can be say you don't kill the hens that lay the golden eggs
no correct
akoko na woto ameye nya nkoko bebre ni yenkono because awudu enu mo de kun sa akoko na ade atwe meba na akoko bie ni holum na onya kosu bia afa anasa nkoko na asa etimi adoso mina you see ye all over the years besi ene kasun swami ati say ye de Ghana duties there ye de we say dollar and I work here duties. And think Kenya Kanyamia, the dollar coya could do 17 point something. And I tell about 10 point something, see. And think logically, the uncle school could say, I tell you about me, the duties in Swat, yes, I mean, I say, and they met me the ministers to work at yourself, rather your duties no more costro. Before the AI no crowd, and son of my yes,
that conversation came up. Mekai say, magazine for. Fast papers banner kind say apart from $7 no swat and still kopoto money so
pa na ekosdo ma mefa kaya popular Ghana and say friend boxy Twitter box April me kokwa so Japan me dibi buy me you duty 34,000 Ghana cedis
April
last year last week me ko yi nyama fitima habo the cheapest me pay 62,000 Ghana cedis
car corona
the same car na
45,000 to 60
the same car na who beside explanation the man say even formally no more classify car na as van now man classify no as wagon and because of that thing na car wagon so car Land Cruisers any sa cars na luxury cars no from wagon
one of the
time car we a family car any wagon car but just to see a big twist answer near buyentin they are moving up to wagon level no as is the cheapest between 55,000 let's say would the end there for pa as much as 72 million economy answer the highest emitter and 2010 model and here 72,000 Ghana cedis MTI. I did me 34,000 just last April. And no code change. Your hormone almost on the AI samba. And he said, I don't know and buy you do evolution the Bremono, Yana and Kanokrum. Fine. Period, Obiape. Now, so when you period, my memory home at me. I'm a Missika and she, I'm a Duanum, the ancient Ranaminion beam. Nami Manuel near bombing. A brand TV about your noble time of on yet to push in Porto Nedino, or also be here in a Juma. Yanana, sir. Now, you know, Momoton letter, I won't produce you any side on. But when you are my phone, here we are in the bachelor. Do it alone with 70,000 Ghana cedis, you know. But who contain a queen last week? I do 1.4 billion old currencies. 104. 140,000 Ghana cedis.
From 70,000.
From 70,000. Because of the AI. I didn't see AI and check it, you know. Now say to a member, say AI never did detect a mind. I wouldn't very well say, I didn't know and a big Pejuma. Why do you do that? And you not pay your national leadership, Asia finance minister on the AI. Now, who say this common sense will work. Nintia Juma, no more transit additive. There's someone here who and say, yeah, the phone now at the end of the you should engage us. Who is say, yeah, and say, come on for such a I don't know. And you don't have the opportunity to ask those questions because all man say, you do it number say. This is the beauty AI idea. Wouldn't be a Pacoya PBR. So could you because container no cry and sign up about 1 year to put some Podiano. Maybe I did the mortgage by 1 week and 2 weeks. And to some us all continue died on one. But born in the mortgage number said to the account of France for years. Into AI need ye. Send Yanni finance minister Shiani and Tess and Papa Bia and the beginning to more hit than foreigners in India. Because capital put in some they did you and the Bob Brady with theaters, and my little uncle is more much. And no one for machines is Yamai.
Ha! Ms. Osanza, maybe I've been doing AI. I know it's supposed to help enhance business. Yeah. AI, I know the business community say, hey. I said,
no, AI no any day. AI pick information are available. AI no few. So what Bob works in the same
That's a software.
Ebe call international pick cost. Be a one cost be a botono. Ebia $10,000. AI hotels there be around $10,000. Ebia a say ne diaba na calculate ne diaba. So what a bank should have done and they say, okay, the way is a pricing you do to know. And then wrong and
that's the point.
And the pricing in the order down.
That's the point.
I don't know if the other pricing for a formula that you know. I don't work it out, bro. And there was a change base, you know. Base na calculation the bus no. And also reduce no. Now be shim na pe. Everyone say let it a cost you. Don't know the reason why. Per kilowatt hour. Motum. Per kilowatt hour. And a year 1 cedi no. What to go 2 cedi for the purpose. And then they short that. And so they read na kushim. Boom na boom. Na pie. It don't take so about 1 cedi no a. And ka enko so sa. Na do ya no. No just or picking informations around the world. Now a carbon, now the formula working. Now they will do jam. And now all formula na shim no shim. Esa formula no. Some vox ibu die so say be okay because with AI NT. I pick different it be a benchmark the ente so. Not a benchmark so e work here and the na base. It ma due to na dey about from but we are still maintain the same benchmark. We maintain the same benchmark automatically. And get before the only problem no problem.
As I said, you almost want more problem. And son, I'll be doing a horn crowd.
Some no problem. It's okay. Some mutia or some years go tia. No, the mutia. Even the mutia. What about tia? What I say? What they're about to so answer the margin of the to so. Now for your can and watch it. Now for you about your bobna. You do to the ways you did in the end. Cost with me. And your papa. My cat say do to know. Yes, son. You mention crowd with dollar. You should not bench with dollar. The first of box is by 10,000 now. They buy 10,000. Flat with your money, come baby. And then the dollar never form. A bank will say, no much channel. Well, fuck can be so. I did benchmark. So what's a pro crowd? The benchmark and I will say, a old benchmark. No,
just most of the figures.
Why just because when say dollar above form? A man, the price of when you come, I brought in the above form. School when you have form. And quickly they change the benchmarks without the knowledge. You know, so 1,000 brosa. And the beginning say, I buy no. I say, yes, you can in a free port.
There's too much of a concentration at the port.
Concentration at the port. Workers. How do you know? And the could be a social more free port because a bounce by sky at the while share promise on the key. Easy. And do pesca. And what did you do? We are okay. I doubt they will do anything. A buyer could oh, near him, Mokwa, or Banzo Kadia, yesterday, a better committee, then view number, a committee for a report to buy. We tell you, now a shuffle back. No free wire. The Obano also shall say fresh. Also said, me did say, yeah, a tax system, dear. And yet transparency cry.
KOJO,
Minia.
Minu miru na ase ye bebreo.
The adro no. Sound echo. In fact,
because obuabu usika no on the basis said dollar no eso te.
say
You dear grow.
Car no still a untibi.
Untiminto. Die tie ni. Na me ne opanyi bi link komo. Aga ye o classroom. So ma na be so ye business kakra. Na we na me ne panyi bi link komo no kakra me. We na so kakra me wose. Opanyi obaga na ye trading ne dia. This one custom who are for custom officer dia when you man ba and yes totally bibia finching because all trian sadia unya hwe so that's as my panic
Mama, bye.
In fact,
as I catch me no say oh sir it's not as a we a good trader obenya for so near dia just a custom friend yeah ba obey course near man na when near man be ha Etino, winning. They are buying the balance. They are just a software. It has been there long. Who's there? Or change from one company to another company to another company. Or mobile, we are on interest. Who's also for mommy, they blue something. Some company be now. We buy on the society. This time, I buy no Kofa company. Be a friend of Publican Trade Solutions. I employ who's a software. My software and the more than now. Software now, you deploy a bit of artificial intelligence. Now, suddenly open UK, and yes, the system no pick baby out the car free. Nebo, ne baby classify and say the city. Now, I'm more a calculation without reference to the chart now. What port will it be? And the opening works here. Okay, who's the system saying that work? You say now, no, it verifies origin, classification, and valuation of goods in real time. Meaning that, works in all classified as a van way, but under new classification, it is regarded as wagon, which is equivalent to a Highlander, Land Cruiser, and those cars. And instantly, the value now the man no
based on just the classification.
Exactly. Based on just the classification. That is how the system is working. And it detects under valuation misclassification. Who says, "Omo de niam na eba say we are classified as a tomato." E bara say change wo ho say tomato, ne classified be before automatically ne bo koso.
Anati.
So, so what should niam na na and then trade more practicing and abiding yes because first quarter of 2025 they lost revenue by 1.6 billion. Now implementing revenue has been boosted by almost 40 to 45%.
So that the intention may not be bad.
Yes. The intention is to bring everything, cut
but
off
introducing it, no.
Yes. Good. Now, what the traders were getting by under certain deal is gone. But and also should inform government say, almost policies not applied. Because the reason you have traders not profit, they say no, we go around it a little. But now when this solution never no more go around. Now they are seeing the real cost of our charges at the port. It was about now then also found. And KOJO said the minimum benefit the charges are too astronomical.
AFIA could be raised the
same. Buying this for Republican direct taxes. I don't want too much. Tax are a day body bottom straight. A quadro, a baby also no year demand intelligence about who no one taxing. There be petrol there or toa a quadro bottom direct, no the tax at all. Since you are ahead, some can't be the pay slip show probably that's a medium of the component of tax are almost and you will be able to far more than that. Why? Yenya wunya to see a direct no. Just say or two working. What shouldn't be the case? And there are things there. A buying the BIA tax classification, then maybe I was on to be diverted. No, munya to me broadening tax. No, look at the former government. E-levy. Me what to me income tax at me be area menyas canaba to me phone for me send me money kakran. What's what me? Nobody care about VAT issue. Do you know what is happening in the VAT sector now? They tell me say. Ode adeni ba ye free port na banana. Ya apply 20% VAT. Osa the market is out the 20% VAT do. That is purely double taxation of the same goods.
But so to say AFIA could be say VAT no calculation BBI okay.
Ni be you no
calculating ye ntina or
na omo no calculating ye who should do that calculation? And you omo but yeah, I say 20% in the price of item not calculated to a flat. But they tell you say they charge it at various points, not the same goods, which they should avoid. So what I say, then eventually by the time I didn't get to the consumer, that tax component will be between 40 to 60%.
Yeah, it's more than that.
One hand to the other hand.
To the other hand, taxes are applied at various points.
And then I had this
Give me 20% flat.
What's that the same
I'm charging 20% flat. The better free models who also charging 20%
flat.
It's a better
now me retail 20% flat.
And the four ways in America now. Eventually, what the taxes was almost 80%. So the 20% doesn't hold again. And at the end of the day, then a question in Abeba. And we are Amma as a nearma our mind no price and do almost economy not tell me dollar never from near. But because of double taxation, and still adding MIA. And the key concerns are traders new raising. Almost from the near what they called black box approach. What's the idea they count the bar? You print two sheets in our amount. You are tax component we boy say. Wait there. The actual thing that combine the money the total tax in the amount. It won't even say your charges when you cabo my the money. That's the black box approach or Muka. So that's it. They are now saying that things should be transparent. And one of the concerns we raise here is interesting, cry data sovereignty and security. Company way, so just say if we Cyprus and no more employee. Though President Mama is debunking it. He's telling us a solution was made by some students at Legon. I'm gonna software and any. But other information say a company a free Cyprus, it was incorporated in 2024. And the government should explain that part well. Is there a situation now, a foreign company in Yaba, where he collects all the details and store it outside like we're having with the Ghana health system? It should be clear. Because it's care about employee and crop. It is simple software solution that can be used at the port. Still, you want to go foreign. And also, questionable. So, and then, traders, as I say, system need favor or more importing in large quantities. Instead of more the any kakrebino. And those are the who how system needs to operate among those small operators, no, a disadvantage.
Momo say, Union Channel for Turkish and a follow no. And especially with the Chinese. Because of the Chinese small and almost bring in a lot of containers. And you no a duty no, every year of forming area. Who are the container back me and who duty no stroke? Estimate they are no the container because of the volumes no money, but government fee say when you enough revenue to encourage them to bring in more. And you know this money do
me at Tesla. Then wow, they back to our near the same price. That is a serious issue. So,
Ghana Nino, Ghana, Ghana Nino. What the Engineer?
Aha,
near tax
foreign
because the
reason is this.
No, we are call on you.
The reason is this. Most of the things now who is a foreign, and you will be a chassis, Ghana Nibidia, or the foreign number, or not that cut. So I say, rice importation in the Medina, we company for now decided those importation. Now they take advantage of the system. They carve the system that will favor them at the expense of the or more work from Kakra. And I could do the most serious aspect. I was about here to say. Also, if we are see a dreadie, if we are seeing a mother home, it is regulated by the World Trade Organization. According to the World Trade Organization concept, or say, will import, will charges near the it should be predictable. There should be predictability. Yes. Yeah. Advanced ruling. There was anybody who said, me the loot way neighbor, me bar me cost. Or the bedroom port war, now varino, no way is against the law. Because eventually, it was all who didn't cost you now, son of the bedroom of mine. God, me cover the Baboka. It is that transparency should be there. But the way a government is operating the AI system, no, and my traders, no, and that advanced and the years open, you say, or the Voxy buy, or in the 70 something. Now, within some few months, I double. When I've gone to bring a car, minimum the price, a year 1 million. Number 1 year 3 million. How do I sell the car?
Right. I was a far more algebra, more share. Mamma Quenya, Mamonso, money, Eddie Comono. Bamazoko, Ninem, Diana Moshe CBC.
Yes, shall I say? Uko elsewhere, there's conscious effort from government, say, we develop any businessmen. No matter to establish because all over the world, advanced nations like even America, private individuals and a developer, government employees who say on memoir, individuals, and there must be some conscious effort. Say yes, so any personal management, what may be a man, what trend, what treaters, not for Nipa Moya. That should be the government idea. By any of the reverse, government officials who say, "One way you or Juma be," and we should also have a cut of their way. Quiet port to cover. You be a container soon as a custom officer, like I said, a petal, almost a boy, you couldn't down on Mokwe. Way about Pijak, way about Pehan, way about
found them
free. Open free. One challenge on the Caribbean, we shall see. Niamania Lodrevian do get in the crowd just to cross and send anyone being appear the last gate and walk on Kurano. Obia or no buy or best be on Famano, it's good on CSA, you will do keep it. Me or duty can yam na me presenting invoice no na money duty man e twa bibia. 2 ye ni ema na wie no na ye wa central agent ye asem ya kura chem bibia. Who kopotwa the trade duties we yi ni ema na ba. Transportation cost from Accra to Kumasi CCI is hovering between 11,000 and 10,000. The cheapest are 10,000. At Quinta no a container and Beba Kumasi Alman. What you are in your own crime, I was so kind what you are 4,000 Ghana cedis. Would you contain an SC council over the risk of accident or the risk of breakdown or so put you not put a say also a bigger trucks no and I'm low doing near quine within a short time I can't break down. And then can it be sick when be 1 week now or more than I have a penny paper party no service car. That I'm not contain and the mortgage was a trial every day beyond $150 per day no and so air you. I know na nyamia boa obedu so no custom officer ho no ne dia akoye ne say won hwese ne ma no say why we are ana odi ba wantin what your proper duties na kwa stamp so am before the stamp will hit the paper no on to bibia wumba
and that's so custom.
And that's so custom me say
na police for you
even though there you are police for no check custom duties remember if Togo Nigeria ni Benin ba police need to be macho last week obi de nyama baby any hand police ni age nyama no so say or for the duty paper until now police no check custom papers obedu bunso obedu kubase custom officer ho say on so help people na for no so stamp so man the same thing what try on beyond sa two official barriers na yede national task force any regional task force first one no me nyina okoti along the same stretch sisi anu mo alternative o say national for no ko takwadi kwanso a na ayi for regional for na ba Accra kwanso the following week na we ma ko for bia takwadi na we no so ba
Ghana already jawe what you sure say Ghana be
to a point to say first no dey container we see magazine na we yi ne ma no kra no na kaso for the tuo abagidi say why want to container na la kasi so we are container na the bag Ghana eventually the bag dey asema I suspect so duties na to na the right duties etianya right duties na metumi di ne na free tema atra bunso atra kubase atra the task force e dey abedu magazine afa na ebe hu se container mi ye na proper duties
so from Ghana be
ya no mo be fi o mo ntia
na ko mo na be na ya pa isubani and tibia obusisi adede enyi ana GRA for no they should think outside the box. As some of them want every time they say widening the test net, widening the task net. But there hasn't been any severe for job on my widening task net. So you uncle for me POP. Omo to task. Omo more dance. Omo sidai. Those people earn a huge chunk of money every month.
And there's a simple
more than the business might be earning. They don't pay anything. And their effort na government ni so benya sanko for na mum so task ni na task na widening.
We have a solution to this.
But if you are watching us, you can join us and also make a contribution. Why? The numbers are on the screen. It is an open source contribute to Anopeya. I told you, Business Tuesday. Now, Anopeya, we have common one. One edi jawu krum hano. Enema wa mo femuno edoso. Yini na ya mwa nkambia enche. Afi uko se ukoto niema no na enema ne bo no ayeding. You bet me a contribute and pay into this discussion. Is there hope?
Hope in the media
Because I no pay almost meeting.
Meeting oh Shema.
Shema says
Shema.
Dadana.
The way no. You see, I see a band mind. Omo adria to raise so much money. Now you don't know. And that's agenda. I don't know. Now, you know, we say, or TV be some will be when you never saw. You say, Mahono. No, can't baby say, before about 2 moon, Mene and this negotiate. Now, as a master, the following week, two because the catcher will be a BP in India, or you have passa to the problem. Where they are tablet. Some year in this India, they be if you are there, a divine problem. By about 2 with this, this year, cranness, even though no, fuel a call,
and a pair of money.
A call, no kind, no, a call, with this. And now, you have to support me. You,
hello, good morning. Hello. 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 Okay, so Ntimpacho we mame. And I will
because and then man no besan kobio. And then man no kobio cause now for me ma say for that for us a buying 2 weeks to stabilize fuel 20% increment.
Right.
And about him you only control.
Abujafo edwedie nkomo no ne de abrewa no pay. The challenges are many. Good morning.
Good morning.
Openi yetio. You.
Me fulumu na me say send na mo kan 12 na ye no kreso na ni na konkusi no eye politics ni dia wura ko ye ndene ye man ye akwa kofa NPP NDC do ye no pe na nin konkusi ni na ni ye chimamu fo ya na ye go tele nti yen hwene ya mamara Ghana ye mara ye kama partner ebe ya ye de ye adwuma no ye mpani for no go election more than timamu for no kwan ya wo pass wa retain power and also be give power no na o general ono no na ya o sha o ni ni ya nti problem ni na no the leaders no say one marginal minor at the end of the day no ordinary election rather than the future and the prosperity of the country.
Medase Anopei. Let me do birthdays for those of you who are celebrating your days, Anopei. Nana Afia Kunedu, Ene Ewawoda. It's a birthday message from KOJO Usu wishing you the best of the day. Hey, KOJO. All right. It's also the birthday of Madame Teresa Sewa Tepa Subriso. And this is from Mr. Joseph Opoku. Mr. Joseph Opoku of Kumasi Krofom is wishing you the best of the day. Yeah, let's see if I have other birthdays. All right. So, Franca, today is your birthday. We wish you the best of the day. We free Yima. Ede Emma Franca. Yema Awodapa. Hey, okay. So, happy birthday. Birthday with special dedications. It's also the birthday of Abna Pokua, the CEO of Scoreboard Pub, Old Tafo Kumasi. Opoku Justice. Emma Awodapa. Yes, there was Shra. Ene Adom Edemau. It's also the birthday of Raphael Osei Usu. The constituency secretary for Achuma Mwabieja North. And Ralph, happy birthday, Nyame Onshra. Na Omanadom Enyekese. For any one of you celebrating your day, want to wish you the best of the day. And son, you're best sorry. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Moses Echina. Moko Echamfo Hona still our foreigners no ha mbesha se atoto shops ni.
And quite a minute, man, a boy and home, say, young mom up to match ending. And I tramp down young hobby to match in Swass. It's not a first April until we don't expect them to be there. A mom to shop no someone in Manomonco. Because Ghana Constitution, Article 3 and say, in a more man constitution home by.
That's right.
Into a bomb constitution home by 865 nature say a whole new coin. So I'm this I got Boja dear, and ye no modia. And we are reservoir Ghanaians until it must be done by only Ghanaians and solely for Ghanaians. Until you rehearse your home more on until a net. There may be actually a city mayor, Ecusia, near Jenny Clearance, and I are Jane and home because first one was here on a maninti and on my police who could be the mom. Into where the Yenena Shasia free that in December be seen it, and then Yankitan with Dianis was until you hope you say, obey the green light, and I say, on no crab, Suyasan, Amia Venia, Yangas here, Tomahawk, you need to miss from our and the immigration for Juma. Name we dread the new a territory until we are home by.
On the meeting, I'm only penning for AI, no, say, quasa the emotion.
And the between the level said 2022 in the air and I took 2 years short from Nunam. Was the Kanamuntia, skin put and someone emotion. Would you mean then I didn't what a make trading capital or so? The next container was out so never know to your container me and Sanafi back of Lamintimia. I don't know Guno. It is a man could be with the Sanamitim baby. Tianyan Twanyantia. Let's be also unconscious no the baby on Begis are tassing swiftly. A dear a woman.
Anope Ebusian for Abwa, a issue statement on AI. Guta, a issue statement on AI. Say woman in Penninfushia, and Necosina ye. That's one man and some pebia monitia. Mwana mohe nyame na maka asia omwano nyame enkan ye honoma nsupa bi entomu ye nnwuma so Daybreak jume